morning, good evening, whatever day it is. I've just been feeling a bit blah today, so I thought I just want to do a little free flow, what I normally do either like in the mornings or before bed or just having a break because I'm working from home, always on my laptop and stuff. So it will just be free flow, 20 minutes to half an hour. I'll see what I do for time. And yeah, just see how we go. I'm gonna kind of film this like I'm not going to post it, just so I can make sense, I guess. So we'll just start in a child's pose, so just bringing the feet together, knees as wide as the mat, and then we're just gonna come back, bringing the butt down to the feet. Hands come out nice and long, trying to reach as far away as possible. You can just drop your head down to the ground. And we're just going to take some nice deep breaths here. So just inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Just feeling how the body is tight or loose in any way. Maybe just rocking your hips side to side. And just staying with the breath for the whole practice today. So inhaling through the nose, exhale through the mouth. And then we're going to slowly come up into tabletop. We'll just come into a few cat-cows. Make sure your hands are underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. And we're going to drop the belly, head comes up on the inhale. And on the exhale, tuck the tummy, push your hands through the ground, head drops last. Inhale, drop the belly, head comes up. Exhale, tuck the tummy in, arching the back, head drops. Push your hands through the ground so you're really stretching through the back, through the shoulder blades. Just do one more. Inhale through the nose, head comes up. Exhale, head drops, tummy in. We're just going to do some free flow, just movement now, so you can just go side to side. You can do nice big circles. If you're going in circles, just stay one way. And then going opposite way. If there's any tight spots, you can just stay on one side. Just closing down the eyes, just feeling into your body. No one's watching if you're home alone or the family's there. It doesn't matter what you look like. Moving with the breath. And then we'll just come to stillness, just in a tabletop position again. I'm going to tuck the back toes and we're going to come back into a downward dog. Just walking out the heels. So pedaling the feet, bending the knees. Just feeling into the back of those legs, into the hamstrings. And then just coming into stillness, just sitting back into that downward dog. So hands are nice and gripped on the ground, heads dropped. You can bend your knees as much as you need. And then we're going to slowly bring up right leg all the way up behind us. We're going to open up the hips, so coming into a hip opener. So your right foot is going to try and kick your butt. And just here for a couple of deep breaths. Flexing that foot that's kicking the butt. And then coming back, leg extends. And then we're going to come forward, bringing that right foot all the way up in between your feet. in between your hands, sorry, dropping that back knee, and then we're going to come into a deep lunge. So hands come up, all the way up, and then sinking into that lunge. Breathing in, and then breathing out. On the next inhale, we're going to lengthen. On the exhale, we're going to bring our arms back out into cactus arms, squeezing those shoulder blades. Then we're going to bring the hands forward again, sweeping them forward, coming all the way up. Inhale, and then on the exhale, cactus arms. And we're going to do one more, sweep the hands forward, coming up, and cactus arms all the way down. Bring the hands just next to the foot, front foot. We're going to push back into our hamstring stretch. So you can keep your back foot tucked to give you a bit more stability. We're going to move forward back into that lunge, so we're just going to do a few more dynamic movements. So sinking into the lunge, and then on the exhale, coming back into that forward fold, hamstring stretch. Inhale, coming up into a lunge, and exhale, pushing back into that hamstring stretch. And we're going to come forward. We're going to place our left hand on the ground. Right arm comes up for a nice deep back twist. Oh, side twist, sorry. And then we mill that hand all the way back down. Going to tuck the back knee up. So bring that knee up so you're nice and active here. And then we're going to step forward. So bringing that left foot up to meet the right foot. And we're going to just meet in a forward fold. So you can bend your knees as much as possible. Otherwise, if you can have straight legs, that's fine. And we're just going to hang here for a bit, so you can grab opposite elbows. You can sway side to side. You can keep the hands on the ground. We're going to come up into a halfway lift, so your hands are going to come up to about your shins, straightening the back, and then exhale, coming forward into a forward fold. I'm going to do that 2 more times. So inhale, bring the hands up to the shins, squeeze the shoulders back, straight back, and release into a forward fold. 1 more, inhale, halfway lift, and exhale, forward fold. And we're going to bend the legs slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae, coming all the way up to standing. I might get chopped out of here. I'm just going to step back so you can see me. Arms are going to come all the way up, reaching the sky, and then bringing them into prayer. Hands come to the chest. Then all the way down to your sides. We're going to do that again, so arms come all the way up. You're going to be at the front of the mat. And then we're going to forward fold all the way down. We're going to come up, halfway lift. Plant the hands down onto the ground. We're going to step 1 foot back, then the other foot back into a plank. You can either drop the knees here, or we're going to do a full chaturanga. Otherwise, dropping the knees, you're going to come all the way down to the ground, squeezing the glutes, feet up, planted on the ground, and then we're going to come up into a mini cobra. And then we're going to exhale, forehead comes to the ground. Inhale, coming up, mini cobra. We'll do 1 more. Inhale, coming up. We're going to plant the hands back down, tuck the toes, and we're going to come back into our downward dog. Taking some nice deep breaths here. You can pedal at the feet, otherwise just staying still. We're going to do the opposite side, so the left foot comes up, nice, tall, up behind you. You're going to open up the hip. Left foot tries to kick the butt. Keep that foot flexed. Nice deep breaths. And you're going to inhale, bringing that leg back all the way to the front of the mat, coming into that deep lunge. So drop the back leg, hands sweep forward, reaching the sky. Take some nice deep breaths here first. And inhale. On the next exhale, we're going to bring our arms to cactus arms, squeezing the shoulder blades, sweeping those hands forward, coming up. On the exhale, cactus arms. Last one, inhale, coming up, and exhale, cactus arms. Hands come all the way to the mat again. Right hand comes onto the ground, left arm comes up into a twist. Windmill that hand back. You can tuck the back toe. We're going to come back into our hamstring stretch on this side now. So keeping that front leg straight. Inhale, coming forward into a deep lunge. Exhale, pushing back. 2 more. Inhale, coming forward. Exhale, coming back. Last one. If it's too much on your knee, you can fold your mat or just get a little blanket or something. And then exhale, coming back. And then we're going to come forward, planting the hands on the ground. Bring that back knee up, so we're in an active lunge. And then we're going to come forward. Right foot comes to meet left foot into a forward fold. And a halfway lift, hands come up to the shin, straight back. Exhale, forward fold. I'm going to do 2 more. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Last one. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Next one, we're going to come up all the way to standing, so 1 vertebrae at a time. Hands come up to reach the sky. I'm just going to step back so you can see me. And then hands come out into a cactus. This time we're going to bring our arms all the way back, and then we're going to interlace them behind us. Trying to keep your hands together. If that's too hard, then you can just be like this one. Otherwise, try to keep your hands together here. And we're just going to stay here for a second. I've got a massive wasp on my yoga mat right now, so I'm a bit freaking out. Okay, so we're here. You're going to be at the top of your mat. I'm just going to show you this way. So we're going to forward fold with our hands behind our head, behind our back, sorry. So we're going to inhale, lengthen, exhale, bending the knees, back straight, coming all the way down. The head comes down last. You can bend the knees as much as possible so your whole front of your body is on your thighs. And then you're going to bring your hands forward. So you don't have to go too far. Just see how you feel. With every inhale and exhale, you might get a little bit deeper. And then on your next exhale, we're going to release our hands to the ground. And then we're going to step our right foot back first, left foot back second. We're in a plank here, and then you can just drop the knees. We're going to come all the way down to the ground, chest to the ground. We're going to bring our right arm out, left hand just next to our face. And then we're going to push our left leg all the way over to the other side. So over our back. And taking some deep breaths here. And coming back to center, we'll swap sides. So left arm comes out, right hand next to your face, pushing that right leg all the way over to the left side. And just breathe. And we'll come back to center. Hands just below the shoulders, sorry. Tucking the toes. We're going to push back into downward dog. We're going to bring our feet as wide as the mat. So just bringing the feet as wide as the mat, and then we're going to push back into a deep squat. So walking the hands all the way back to the feet, bringing it, your toes can just point slightly out, and then we're going to come down into a deep squat. So you can move side to side, you can stay still. If you've got a pole or something at home or something to hold on to because you're not comfortable sitting like this, then just grab onto something. And we're just going to stay here for a few breaths. And then we're going to plant our hands onto the ground. We're going to come back up into a forward fold with our legs wide. So feet are still as wide as the mat. And we're just going to come into a forward fold. And then we're going to walk our hands all the way back to the front of the mat. Drop the knees, feet come together, widen the knees a bit, and then just coming back into your child's pose. And slowly coming up into tabletop. We're going to come into a pigeon stretch. Okay, so right foot's going to come up to the front, left leg is back. Make sure that the left leg is straight, it's not turning either way. You're trying to keep your front leg parallel to the front of the mat. If that's too much though, you're welcome to have your leg back. Just keep this front foot flexed at all times. If you have a block or a foam roller or something, or a pillow, because this is too uncomfortable, you can just put that underneath your right butt cheek. Otherwise, we're going to stay in our pigeon here. Firstly, just keeping our hands at the front, we're going to lengthen. So taking a nice deep breath in to lengthen, and then on our exhale, coming forward. So you can either come to your elbows, head to your hands, head to the ground. Otherwise, if it's too much, we're just going to stay here with our hands supporting us. We're going to be here for a few deep breaths. So just really sink into the stretch. We hold a lot of tension here, a lot of emotions. So just breathe through it. If you want to come back to this stretch after the video's ended, I definitely recommend. These last few stretches, I'm only going to do a short time because I'm filming, but if you need a little bit more on either one, then definitely just repeat. So we're going to slowly come up. We're going to push back into tabletop. You can shake it out, just see how each side of the body feels, and then we're going to swap sides. Left foot comes up, keeping that front foot flexed always, making sure the back leg is straight, making sure the back foot is straight as well, and you're trying to keep your full body square, so don't fall back, don't fall forward. Same thing if you need something to support you. We're going to do the same thing, so inhale to lengthen, and then exhale, release. So just taking some deep breaths here. As I said, we're not going to stay here long. It's just to show you what we're doing. You can come back to it. Okay, this time, instead of pushing back, we're just going to roll out onto our left butt cheek. We're going to bring our legs forward. We're just going to shake them out. And then we're going to come into a butterfly. So I like to just rock side to side. It feels pretty good. We're going to inhale to lengthen, and then same thing, exhale, coming forward. So you can have your feet a little bit further out. That's going to make it easier. If they're closer, it's going to be harder. Doesn't matter how far you go, you're just going to keep with the breath. So inhale, and then on the exhale, forward. And then slowly coming out of that one, we're going to bring our left foot in and right leg out. I'm going to come into a side stretch. So bringing the leg out to your right, not forward. We're going to go out. Okay. So this one you can either, right hand can come to left knee and then coming over so you don't fall forward. Otherwise your right hand can come to your toe. Kind of out of the thing. Right hand can come out to the right toe, and then we're going to lean over. So this is the same thing. Inhale to lengthen, exhale to fold forward. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, fold. And then slowly coming out of that one, we're going to swap sides. Right foot comes in, left leg is out nice and long. Same thing, so your left hand can come onto your right knee and then coming over. Definitely stretches out more than if you're trying to reach your toe and then stretch. But just see what works for you. And slowly coming out of that one, we're going to come lying on our back, just coming into a ball, so we can just roll side to side. We're going to bring our left leg on the ground, right knee stays in, then we're going to come into our deep back twist. So right knee comes over to the left side. Keeping the right knee on the ground. Oh, that did not make sense. Well, keep the right knee on the ground, but keep the right shoulder on the ground as well. So you don't want to be over here. You want to have your right shoulder planted on the ground. If your leg doesn't come to the ground, then that's fine. But ideally you want your shoulder to still be on the ground. And then slowly with the breath you can move the knee closer to the floor. And then coming up, we're going to swap sides. Left foot comes up, left knee into the chest, and then left leg over to the right side. So same thing, keeping that shoulder planted on the ground, and then the leg is slowly moving closer to the ground as well. And then slowly coming out of that one, we're going to roll up and down the back, up and down the spine, so massaging the spine. And then we're going to come up to seated. We'll just come into some neck mobility, so just dropping the head over to the right side. Nice deep breaths. And And then coming back to center, dropping the head over to the left side. And then coming back to center, we'll drop the head forward. Coming up, drop the head back. Coming forward. I'm going to bring our arms, sweeping them up all the way to the sky. Last cactus arm, so bringing the arms out to the side, squeezing the shoulder blades. And right hand's going to come to your side, to the right side. Left hand comes over. And then coming back to center, left hand onto the ground, right arm comes over to the left side. And then coming back to center. And we're all done. Thank you. I'm sorry about my talking and everything. I'm not really good at filming, but practice makes perfect. So hope you liked it. I'm going to try and get some more out. I'm sorry I've been slack. Let me know if you liked it or not, and any feedback would be great. See ya!